My name is Eno. My name is Eno Martins Bakare, and I'm your regular host on this show, My Omegapro Story. I count it a privilege to be here to share the platform with, a guest, that we usually bring for you from anywhere in the world. Our guests can be from anywhere in the world. We've had people from Mexico, Brazil, Morocco, Belgium, Nigeria. Oh, had loads of guests from Nigeria, men, women, youth, who are doing amazing things with this opportunity. Guys, if this is your first time on my Omegapro story, you're going to have a wonderful time. I can tell you that for free. We have, you might have been hearing about Omegapro from a distance. Someone mentioned it somewhere and all that. What we do here, we bring it down. We take away the hype. We bring it down where we have conversations from the heart. We have conversations from the heart. People tell and share their own unique journey with Omegapro, devoid of any hype. They speak from the heart. The whole idea behind having this show, My Omegapro Story, is so that you on our viewer or our guest can hear how ordinary people said yes to an opportunity. They did not know what to make of it. They just started. It was a journey that they didn't know what to make of it. Someone told them about an opportunity and they said, are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, let me try. And that is me and that is you. At some point, those of us who have been in this business, for me, it's been a year plus, 7 months thereabout. And it's been awesome. It's been a beautiful experience. I count myself really, really blessed to be bringing you the show. Now, today, we're taking off right now. There are 24 of us now on the show, on the call. It's time for takeoff. Now, the woman that we are having on the show tonight, she's a seasoned money person. When we hear bankers, we know that bankers know money, they know figures, they've played with money, they played around with figures and all that stuff. And they can tell you, oh, this is how money works and all that stuff. They have more experience, quote unquote, with handling money than a lot of us do. Now, this woman is not just a partner with Omegapro. She's a seasoned ex-banker of 13 years. So she has an idea of, being around money, how it works. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's what you call a boss lady, she's a millionaire maker, because all that she has learned in the course of her journey, she now shares with people. And today we have this amazing woman. Her name is Hannah Adeojo. She's our guest for tonight, and she's going to share from the heart. I told her, I said, on Omegapro Story, you just share from the heart. You have the opportunity to just let people know how you started, when you started, who shared the opportunity with you. Did you jump at it immediately and start running and start learning? Or did you take a look at it from a distance and be wondering, what are they even talking about? How was your journey? How did you start? So that regular people like us can pick one or two things from the story, and they will share you how they are doing it, how they are growing the business, how they are getting, deciding to say yes to themselves and chase this opportunity to the max. So everyone on the call, thank you for being here. You have decided to choose you. You chose you today by sharing this time with us on my Omegapro Story. So my darling diamond, par excellence, the boss lady herself, smiling like $1 million. I have you on the floor, Mrs. Hannah Adeojo. Please, madam, come and share your Omegapro story with us. I know you have a lot of friends who have decided to support you on the call. You have the floor, boss lady. I'll just be guiding from time to time, but you have the floor. Give us village meeting style. Speak from the heart. Tell us how it's been for you.
Okay, thank you so much, sister. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here today to share my story, to help others. Although you said you will give me 45 minutes,
Thank
but
you.
it appears you have used 4 minutes out of my time. Okay, so
I'm so sorry.
no problem. Good evening, everybody. If you're here today, well, I want to congratulate you because you'll probably be hearing another view today. The reason why you should give Omegapro more attention. So if you are here and you can hear and see me, can we please put a 1 in the chat box so I am sure it's not only Eno that is seeing and hearing me. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So again, my name is Mrs. Hannah Adeojo. Like she said, I was a banker, and I am happy to say that, yes, I worked in the bank for 13 years. I will not bore you with all of that. So Omegapro started for me sometime in 2019, when the man we know as Black Diamond, Ajibare Bamidele Samuel, we call him Big Sam. He has always been my friend. He was my colleague. We had worked in the bank for several years, you know. So he came to me. In fact, the day he came to me, we were not even supposed to be friends again, because that time I was on a desk that I more or less ghosted everybody. I was very busy. It wasn't as if I did it intentionally, but I was very busy. I didn't have any personal time to myself. So I had ghosted everybody. So the few friends I still had as at that time were the people who really loved me. Because you need to love me to still keep in contact, to still keep in touch with me, because you could call me for 5 different times straight and I will not bother to pick your call or to return your call. It was that crazy that time. I wasn't doing it intentionally, but it was just the job. So he happened to be one of the people that really kept in touch with me. You know, he would call. If I don't call, it will go as far as calling me 12 midnight, 1 a.m., just so he could, you know, talk to me. So that day, he said he was going to come, and I told him I was busy, that I shouldn't come to my office. But he insisted that he would come, that he had something he wanted to discuss with me, and that he said he didn't mind bringing me home. So he came to my office. I think he had come since 5 p.m. and I didn't get to finish work until about 7:38. So of course, like he promised, he picked me and one other guy. I was working somewhere in Ikeja at that time, and he brought me all the way to Ikorodu. He lives in Ikotu. So he brought me to Ikorodu that day, and then he now said that, okay, let's go to one cool place where we could talk. So we went to one, is it a joint? I will call it now, but it's a popular place in Ikorodu. So we just went there, and it's a place where they really make very delicious and nice catfish. So that day, they gave me fish, and then he was telling me about, there's this business, this one, that one. I was just saying, okay, and I was enjoying my fish. For me, it was about the fish. I was busy enjoying it. I knew I wasn't really giving him attention because I had the project I was doing that particular time, and I knew I was not ready to give him attention, but I was just like, okay. So eventually we finished the discussion, and then I told him that, okay, give me a few days. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. He dropped me off around 11:30 p.m. that day. You can imagine the time he would get back home. He dropped me off somewhere in Ikorodu, and he was still heading off to somewhere in Ikotu. So eventually I told him that, see, yes, dollars over catfish. Yeah. So I told him a few days later, I told him that, see, this is not the right time for me, that we're doing these projects. Then this house we live in now, we're on that project then. So I wasn't ready to divert my attention. You know, he would call me up several times. I would ghost him, and, you know, it got to a level that we actually fought over it. And he stopped calling me He stopped texting me, he stopped chatting me, and of course, I didn't bother. You know, after a while, would make up, talk, this one, that one, babe, give this in attention. And then we have this mutual friend then that we were still working together in the bank. He would always give me updates. See, if you see the kind of ride Big Sam is driving now, this one down, I said, no, Allah, God will do my own too. And then when he went to Dubai too, the guy was always giving me updates, but I didn't mind. So sometime in 2020, he came to my office again. And you know, and one particular thing, when he was working then, the people, we were not on the same level. We weren't on the same level, but you know, he was someone I had known before I got to that level. So the level thing didn't even come to play at all. We continued our friendship. But those who were on the same level before they promoted us, you know, they were, the level thing was, it was coming to play then. It got to a particular time that they were going to get him sacked. Because if you know him, he's someone that is very jovial. He could trivialize anything, like, what is it? We will not die now. Maybe it's very they want to give me. So, you know, that particular day came to the office and I saw all those people, including his boss then. You know, they were standing up to greet him, and then he was walking around the office to greet everybody. They were following him like one very big person had come. I was just like, when I went out, I was just like, guy, thank God for your life, for this one, that one. He now said that, see, that was on a Friday, and then he invited me for an event at Radisson the following day, a Saturday. He said the VP of sales was around, that I should come around to see him. I said, see, Saturday, Sunday, we have special projects we're doing, and I'm going to be on duty and all of that. He said, okay. After work, he will send his driver to pick me up. And of course, the driver came around, maybe around 6:30 to pick me up. We got to the hotel around maybe 7:30. I was surprised. Of course, they had finished the event. He called Paulo. Of course, I didn't know his name that time. He called him. Paulo had retired to his suite by that time. He called him. The guy came downstairs to see me, to have a meeting with me, and I was blown, because, you know, I worked in a place rather, where an ordinary GM, we had a GM then that if he enters the elevator and you are inside the place, you would have to exit the place for him. And then me now sitting in the same place with a vice president of sales of a global company, it was a game changer for me. So we started talking, and then he was asking about what I was doing and all of that. And you know, this corporate thing, especially the bankers, I was going on and on, like, yeah, I'm a banker, I earn well, I do this, I do that. I even work on Saturday, Sunday. My work is very important. Without me, the bank may not run and all of that. It was just like, really, wow, you know, and he kept on saying, wow. And I just kept on going. And then one thing he just asked me, said that, when do you get to leave? At first, I didn't understand that question. I took it to mean that, when do I leave office on a normal day? And I said, well, at times maybe 8, at times it could be 9, at times 10. It was like, no, I mean, when do you live life? And that thing really struck something in my head, that all the money you feel you're making, when do you actually enjoy it? When do you enjoy life? And you know, Lagos being the kind of crazy lifestyle we live in Lagos, I've left my house 3 a.m. in the morning before, and I didn't get to work until past 9 that same day. I've left office 11 p.m. before. I've left office almost 12 midnight before, because there was an important task that you must deliver on. So immediately I had that conversation with him. I decided that I was going to join immediately, and immediately I picked up a package. Now, imagine the process Big Sam had to go through to get me on board. The coming to my office to pick me very late in the night, drops me off around 11:30 p.m. before he headed back to his own place. You know, all the back and forth, blocking ourselves and all of that, until I had to go and see the VP. And at the end of the day, how much package did I buy? I bought a $500 license. It wasn't as if I was coming on board with any money. It wasn't as if I had any money anywhere that made him give me a bumper to fender close up like that. In fact, at that time, he didn't know that I was going to do the business parts. It was just like, babe, you're my friend, you're my person. You can't miss out on this opportunity. That was what he kept on saying. Anytime we meet, like, what is your problem? What is your problem? What is your problem? He kept on telling me that. So eventually I picked a license and then I came on board. And then, of course, I was added to the support group. I started seeing some things and my head started going haywire like that. And I made a mistake.
Gaga. Gaga.
Yes. Of course, there's this thing we do in the bank. We learn on the job. Nobody has time to train you in the bank. We learn on the job. So also in this business, you get to learn on the job. However, learning on the job gets easier because now you have people who have walked the same road you want to walk. They've done it. They know how many steps you need to take until you get to a bump. So you know how many steps you need to count. And when you get to that place, you know you need to take a jump. You understand? Now, because I was super excited, I started telling people about the business. I was putting it on my WhatsApp status. And then somebody just chatted me, babe, what is this one, that one? And I was excited. I told him it's this, it's that. And the guy was also excited. He was ready to come on board. He said, okay, he would attend the 7 p.m. Zoom. And then I made a very costly mistake. And the mistake was to tell him that, see, there's even a way you can earn way more than the 300% you're expecting after 16 months. By the time you tell somebody, you tell your colleagues and all of that, they come on board, you make this one. I said, really? I'd have to bring somebody. I'm not doing. You know, because of that one single misstep, up till today, the guy has not joined. So that is, I tell people that there is a way you can sell the business part without actually selling the business. There is a way you can sell business part of this opportunity without actually selling it directly. What is important is to make sure people pick a license. I've not told you, I'm not asking you to start telling people about it. I am telling you this for you. Your money that is sitting dock somewhere, come and put it to use. And by the time you pick up a license, and then I add you to my support group, and then you start seeing testimonies, you will be the one to chat me up yourself to ask me that, babe, what's up with this thing now? Because this kind of lifestyle you people are living is beyond the 300% you told me about. It's no longer about the 300% alone. You understand? So that's why I said there's a way you can actually sell the business without selling it directly. So of course, like I said, I joined and then I got discouraged because, you know, I tell people and then they just give me a cold shoulder. Some people will tell you they will attend the meeting. At the end of the day, they don't attend and all of that. So gave me a cold shoulder until one day, I can't remember, something actually happened and I was seriously tired with my job because number one, I had to get a transfer. The desk I was on that time, I had no life. As in, I practically had no life. I would resume very early, and until I leave the office in the evening, I would probably have stood up only twice to go and use the loo. I would eat right there on my desk. It was like the whole bank was on my head then to deliver. Because this one will come with his own inquiry, this one will come with his own top urgent and all of that, and I had to deliver. So the first thing I did was to get a transfer to another desk. And then I started looking at Omegapro, because even though I had heard about it, I had told few people, I still wasn't very convinced that the system could work for me, because now I've always been an operations person. I wasn't a marketer. So to talk to people, in fact, I was an introvert. I wasn't really a people's person beyond the fact that you bring your issues and I resolve them, and that's the end of it. So telling people about it was a problem for me, because I am this kind of person that if I tell you about the business and then you're giving me a cold shoulder, it will just strike something that is not good in me. So I was just like, how can I do this then? So I started attending trainings. I started attending, there is this 12 noon training we do for members. And that thing did a 180 degrees shift in my mindset. The first day I attended, it was a testimony day. And then my upline, my Blue Diamond upline, was sharing his testimony then. As at that time, he was a gold. And then he worked with Dangote Refinery, is a top executive there. And then he was just sharing his testimony in that time that, where when he started, he was just like, he just heard about the business, and then he was interested, just decided to put his money, that he wasn't interested in the business part. But that Big Sam, it was also Big Sam that brought him into the system. That Big Sam didn't give up on him, started following up. You are my friend, you have to do this other part, that is where the money is, and then you have the right contacts, you have the right social capital, why are you not leveraging on it and all of that? And I now said that, he now said I was already comfortable in his job, that in fact, he earns very well, but I wasn't going to tell us his salary then. He now said that when he had a chat with him, he now said to like, okay, talk to two people. And that when those two people came on board, that in, was it a week or 2 weeks, he called it, that he had made about 500,000 naira, which was like half of his salary. Within 2 weeks, the first time he would start the business part, he had made half of his salary, which was about 500,000 naira. And that since that time, nobody needed to convince him again. In fact, he shared a testimony sometime last month. He said that it is now he knows that the job he's doing it for the passion he has for that profession. That at this point, he doesn't need the money again. The money is getting from Dangote. He doesn't need it again. That it is now he knows that he's doing it for the passion he has for that profession, and not because of the money he's making from there. So like I was saying, I started listening to those trainings, 12 noon, you know, I'll be on my system, I'll be working, and then I'll connect on my phone with my earpiece, I'll be listening. I was hearing a lot of things. And then I decided to take some steps further. Okay, this network marketing, I've always heard about it. It has always scared me off. Like, you have to keep telling people this one, that one, that one. And then I had to go online to research what network marketing is. I did my personal research. What network marketing is. Is this something that is sustainable? And I learned a lot. I learned so much. I learned a lot to the level that now I pay for trainings. You know, a lot of us, we just want to earn money. We hear that there is money in this business, but we are not ready to invest in ourselves. You have to invest to actually get an ROI, to actually get ROI. That's return on your investment. You must invest in yourself beyond the fact that you're telling people about the business. I have attended a training before that I spent 300,000 naira. I have attended a training before that I spent 500,000 naira. You know, when I tell people, they look at it like, is it because you are making money that you're just spending it anyhow? No. Before now, I didn't used to bother about my look. I would go out and I don't care what is happening to my face. But now, if I'm going on a business call, a business meeting, I don't go out without makeup on my face. Not necessarily studio makeup, but make sure there is life on your face. It was from there I learned that you don't go on a business call wearing flat shoe. I was always a flat shoe person. In fact, you won't catch me wearing heels anywhere, even when I was in the office. But now I had to learn it because I paid for a training that gave me all those information. So in this business, number one, you must have a mentor. You can't do it yourself. You can't do it yourself. It's not a business that has to do with how fluently you can talk. It's not a business that has to do with how smart or intelligent you are. Network marketing business, you have to learn it. Because I tell you that Big Sam, I don't know, for those of us who know him very well, he doesn't have any network marketing background at all. And I was amazed at the success he made in this business. In fact, I can tell you that he has more success than those who have 10, 15 years
network marketing experience.
You understand? Imagine if when I resigned and then I am coming from the standpoint of, oh, I was a star in the bank. I was a star, I was this, I was that. I'll probably still be an associate right now. I can tell you that for a fact. And you always have to turn up. There is no gathering, no training that is too small, that is too little. I remember when I started Radisson, you know, I would turn up every Saturday. And then I remember the time Big Sam said, see, we've always had this complaint that it's only guys that presents this opportunity here, and it's making us look like fraudsters. There are lots of people have actually complained that this one that is only guys that is always pretending here. You guys are thieves and all of that. So he said that, ladies, I need you to come up. And then I said, okay, give me the presentation slide. And then I studied it. And then I started from a point of no knowledge. That's the truth. I started from a point of, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just saying it. You know, when you turn up for trainings, for meetings, now you are going to be tapping from different people. This person will say his own. You will tap from the person. I will say my own. Of course, I would say it from Mr. A. You will tap from me. And then Mr. B would say his own. You will tap from that person. Mr. D would say our own. You will also tap from that person. So it is from all this pool of knowledge you're going to be merging together to bring out a masterpiece. But imagine if you're not going for trainings, if you're not going for meetings, you're just like, because you have invited people and none of them is turning up, you're just sitting at home. How will you learn? How will you learn what to do differently? At times, I may not even train, but you just sit down, you see people, your fellow networkers, you hear them talk, because we share experiences. Okay, this is what this person said, and this was the response I gave to the person. This was how the person is able to have a change of heart and all of that. You learn from this different people. You may just have an idea. Somebody might just say that, I think the high net worth people I should organize a dinner for them somewhere. That may give you an idea to use. Even if it doesn't work the way you want at the end of the day, at least you have gotten an idea from there. So this business, you cannot do it in isolation. I definitely didn't do it in isolation. If I had done that, I tell you, it wouldn't have worked for me. I would just have resigned, and I probably would have been depressed by now, because imagine you leaving a job that was paying very well. And if I tell you that my job was paying very well, it was paying very well. I was a banking officer. I was already looking at the next level. And in fact, when I left the job, a lot of people were looking at me like, this girl must be crazy. It looked
what
like.
What was it like? How did you manage? Yes. How did you manage saying you're resigning, like you're leaving the bank? How did you manage that? How did you manage people's expectations? Maybe family, even telling your husband, people around you. How did you manage that?
Okay, let me start from my husband. Of course, he was the first person I told. He didn't receive the news very well. But he, of course, we've known ourselves. He knows that once I put my head somewhere, if you don't allow this girl to do it, it's going to be a problem in this house. I wasn't going to be happy. Because I am this person that I have this, I usually have mood swing, I may be playing now, and then that thing will just come to my head that you want to do this thing, they're not allowing you to do it, and it will just change my mood completely. You understand? So of course, we had back and forth kind of arguments on it, and eventually he supported the idea. In the office, I told just one person, because it was a very bold move. It was a very bold move.
Very bold.
Yes,
very bold.
I didn't want people to start giving me reasons why it shouldn't work. In fact, let me tell you something. That time, I had this loan I was running then. I think I had about 3M to pay off as at that time. And I knew it would still take me about a year or 2 years to pay it off. And I didn't even have any money saved somewhere that I want to use to pay off. And then I talked to my husband, but because he had just done one project that time, he said he didn't have up to that. And then I talked to Big Sam that, see, I want to resign, but I need 3.5. Sure you get. And he was just like, babe, you want to resign? Are you sure? I don't see you as that pushy kind of person that can really work. If it is corporate world, I know you're a lion in the corporate world, but this other side, you that you don't take bullshit from anybody. You can't take it though. We see it on the field and all of that. But I was just like, don't worry. All I need from you is 3.5. And then he said that 3.5, he would give me for 3 months. He will give me 3 months to pay it. And then I collected the money. I settled my loan with 3M, and with the intention that I'll use the 500 to support myself before my business would pick up. And that month, my business did not only pick up, I was able to become a platinum executive, and I paid off the
Wow.
3.5 million naira loan. In fact, it was
In
saying that
1 month.
in 1 month.
Hey. There you go, boss lady.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
If I was saying that, babe, no, still hold it. I don't mind. Let's buy a ride so that when you go out
Wow.
on business calls and all of that, I said, guys, see, I don't want this thing hanging on my head. Let me pay off this money first. You understand? No, the guy has
Wow.
always been an amazing person to me. You understand? So that's why I said in this
Yes.
business, you can't do it alone. If you want to say that the person that brought you in the business appears not to know what he or she is doing, and where you now think that they are making things happen, you now want to jump ship, it won't work for you. It won't work for you. That person that appears not to know what he or she is doing, why not help him or her to learn the ropes? Why not learn it together? Why not learn it together? Because in this business, there is nobody that knows it all. And that's the truth. There is nobody, it's not by the much you know how to do or whatever. Because some people will come, they will humble you anyhow. You know, I've had this person that I spoke to him and he was going to come on board with 50M. As at the time that exchange rate was 500 naira to $1. He was going to come in as a gold on arrival. So that particular day, he had collected my account details. I was even going to give him Big Sam's details. He said no, that he's transferring the money to me. I said no problem. So I gave him my account details. He said before 2 p.m. I'll get the alert. And then 2 p.m. came, alert didn't come. 4 p.m. came. I started calling bros. He didn't pick. What happened? And then it was towards the end of the month. It was towards the end.
Wow.
In fact, it was 2 people that had promised me. He was coming in as gold on arrival. Another person was coming in as builder on arrival. We're even doing a follow-up meeting to see if the person can do silver on arrival, because of course he had capacity to do it. And so the codes, the alert, the credit didn't come, the credit alert didn't come. So I calling him, he wasn't picking his calls. The following week, same thing happened. And then it was month end, as in, I was almost depressed. The two of them, none of them turned up.
Wow.
But from nowhere, I got 2 other, because I think I needed about $30,000 to finish up my platinum that particular month. And from nowhere, 2 people came up. One did $10,000. Another person did, I think, silver on arrival. And that was it. So in this business, it's not about you know how to talk or you know what to say. A lot of people will disappoint you. You need to have shock absorber. You need to have it. I've hosted a dinner before for HNIs. We called it HNIs, high net worth individual. As in, we spent more than 2M on that dinner. And then someone at the end of the day from our HNI is doing $100. 100. And the person was even telling me that, I don't know if you guys permit me to say Yoruba. Like, I'm just doing it because it's you. Like, an event that I paid I spent more than 2 million naira. A OCDD had to fly in from Abuja to Lagos for that event. So you have to be prepared for a lot of things in this business. A lot of people will shock you. And I've done gold on arrival for somebody before who you would see. And in fact, the day the man, he called me himself. It was just like, he used to call me sister. He's a pastor. Sister. Ah, there's this thing I've been seeing. There's this thing I've been seeing on your WhatsApp status. What is that thing? Yes, what is that thing about? So, I was just disinterestedly, I was just, is this, okay, please, can we see? That man drives Camry, he drives Camry Tiny Light. And it's not as if it's a newly bought vehicle, and then he wears vests, all these white round neck vests. So, we're just talking, I was telling him, at the end of the day, in my head, I was just like, maybe this man, if you do all that, I'll now have to praise God, though maybe we'll do $1,000. At the end of the day, that man did good on arrival. That man did gold on arrival. So in this business, a lot of, imagine somebody I did not even prospect for. Somebody I didn't have to spend anything on. I didn't tell him about the business. He did $100,000. And then I invited an HNI to a meeting. I had spent over 2 million naira and he did $100. So in this business, a lot of things will shock you. A lot of things will shock you. You just have to be prepared. Most times you would feel like giving up. It will happen. If you have not gotten to that level, you have not started business before, it will look like nothing is working. Okay, it will look like, a lot of times, it will look like nothing is working. It will look like you can't get it right. It will look like those who are doing it, they know how best to do it. But in this business, you have to pay your dues. If you have not gotten to that level, to almost feeling depressed about the business, you are not getting right. You have not started business. Even if you're already making, even if you have gotten some ranks, even if you have become a silver or a gold, and you've not gotten to a point where you are almost giving up, or where it is feeling, you are feeling like in this business, there is no new thing you want to come up with, or it appears others are getting it better than you can, you have not started business. So in this business, make sure you work with a mentor. Make sure you work with a team. Make sure you are in it for the long haul. No one is an island of knowledge. Make sure you are always accumulating skills. Make sure you are always accumulating skills, because if you want to bank on the fact that you tell this person, you can only go so far. You can only go so far. I have somebody in this business who only heard about the business on the radio. Today, the lady is a platinum executive. She's not in my team. Today, she's a platinum executive. In fact, Sheung Odi, that is a Blue Diamond executive today, heard about the business on the radio. So if you are not in a team, you won't know the avenues to explore. I want to round off now because I think I've really spent time here, but I'll tell you for a fact that this business works. It works so well, but be ready for it. Be ready to put in the work. Hard work does not kill. Hard work doesn't kill, because I worked in a place where I was already used to the hard work. In fact, when I started my banking career, I started with a boss that would say that if you say something is difficult, he will ask you that, is it rocket science? Is it brain surgery? That even brain surgery, people are doing it. We had this particular units that used to give us issues then. This e-banking, we call them e-banking. You know, they would always make their units look like there's one big thing we're doing here, and the man would ask them, is it rocket science? You understand? So in fact, that time, as at 9 p.m., it was a place where we have over 300 people working in a single location. And then around 9 p.m., we'll be looking at ourselves like this, that who will bail the cat this night? Who wants to get up first? 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Who wants to get up first? We'll be looking at ourselves, because even an AGM is still seated. Nobody hears it.
Wow.
You want to ask for leave. Your own leave, you beg for it.
Okay.
You can't go out during working hours to go outside the gates, to cross outside the gates, to go and buy something. I remember a particular day like that.
Wow.
I was going to buy, it was in the afternoon, I was going to buy Gary to drink. And then he just met me in the lobby. I was like, where are you going? Where are you going? I said, I want to buy Gary. You want to buy Gary? Be careful, be careful. He just bought that 1,000 naira. And then he gave me.
Wow.
Those kind of.
How dare you drink Gary during working hours?
Understand? Those kind of working condition. You can't go on leave. If you are given, then we were entitled to about, I think, 15 or 20 days. I can't remember. I'm talking 13, 12 years ago. The man is late now. If you manage to get 5 days that you're entitled to your leave, you will almost call your old relative to come and tell him, thank you for giving me 5 days. Your leave that you're entitled to. Wow. You would have left your home 3 or 4 a.m. to get to the office very early. Leave home around 8, 9 p.m. Then it wasn't a stress. I was doing it as in I was happy doing it. I was, as far as I was concerned, I was building a career, but I was building someone else's dream. No matter how no matter how hard you may work, you are building someone else's dream. You are building someone else's vision. Somebody said that if you work 12 hours in a day and
that was slavery.
And you go home, I hope I'm not taking too much time. I'm sorry, I'll round off now. And you go home.
No, please. Yes.
Like if you work 11, 12 hours in a day, and then you go home, you go and sleep. You are not, I've forgotten how they put it. You go home, you go and watch TV, and then you sleep. Who will build your dream? What time do you have to build your team in your dream? So now we have this opportunity where you can build a business, a personal business within a business, within a system that is working. And then we're not taking advantage of it. Now, I hear a lot of people complain, this one, that one, that one, that one. And then my head will go back to that period. In fact, let me tell you that man's story. It was an AGM as at 2009. His salary as at that time was about 1 million naira. You can imagine the value of 1 million naira as at 2009. This is outside all of the other allowances. Child allowance is there, spousal allowance is there, mortgage allowance is there, quarterly allowance is there. So of course it was a boss rather. He has several allowances coming in for him. 2009 was only 1 million naira. And then from nowhere, that job stopped. They just told him to stop. That man had a partial stroke. He had a partial stroke. Because as a banker, where would the savings come from? Where would the savings come from? Because a lot of people, they will tell you that they are saving for the raining days. Where would the saving come from? I am this person that I've never believed in saving. I have never believed in saving, because if you have 50,000 naira saved up today, 50,000 naira emergency will come. You won't have a choice. If you have 1 million naira saved up today, 2 million naira emergency will come. So what I used to do then, as soon as I collect my salary like this, I'll just tell my husband. My husband will tell me that this place that we're doing that time, this money will not be enough. Wait, I'm expecting this money so that I can add up. I'll say, Oga, even if it is 50 blocks, this thing can buy. Let's go and buy it. Because I cannot keep money in my hand and then somebody will call me for emergency. My conscience will not allow me to rest. Because I'll know that I have that money. My conscience will not allow me to. So it is better I spend it on something I will see that I know I spent this thing on myself. You understand? But you know, a lot of bankers are always keeping up with appearances. You want to look glam, you want to look this. Thank God I worked in a place that they weren't so particular about appearances then, because it was a back office. We're servicing the old bank. So I wasn't required to buy any designer wares. In fact, then at times I would not even brush my hair, because I would get to I'll get to office very early and then I would have just started work. My boss will come to me. This babe, you go crazy finish. Brush this hair. No one look like mad person for you. Wow. You know? Wow. So it was always like that. Wow. And okay, that man I was saying, he had a partial stroke just because there was no hope of any job coming for him anytime soon. Of course, he got another job, but of course, he already had that situation. But now you have a system where you can conveniently build a business for yourself. People I would never have in my life imagined walking up to start a conversation with them. I do so now and I am fluent doing it. The most you will tell me is no, I'm not doing.
Wow. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. And what is even important? What is even important?
What's the worst that can happen?
Is the fact that I have your contact, and then I have told you about the business. Once I collect your contact, I tell you about the business. I'm not bothered, because I know that even if you don't check my status all the time, you check it once in a while. I've had a lot of people chat me from nowhere, as in people I've not even spoken to before. That babe, I've been seeing this thing, put me through. And then for those who are already doing the business, there are some avenues we are not really exploring very well. In fact, in Omegapro Nigeria,
mention some.
We have barely scratched the surface. We have barely, social media, Instagram, Facebook, and there's a way you do this business. You have to learn it. It's not just about I am posting or anything. There is a way you do it. There's a way you do it. I've paid for several trainings on social media marketing. I've paid several trainings. I've done video editing class. I've done sponsored ad class. There are some trainings on my phone now, my mail, that they sent this access to me, that I've not even gone through them at all. So anytime I feel I need it, I'll just remember that I've paid for this thing. Let me go there. And one thing about social media is that they feed you what they know you like. if you always go on social media, maybe IG or TikTok, and what you're always watching or looking out for is all these very funny videos or memes.
Comedy.
Over time, yes, that is what they will be feeding you. That is what they'll be
recommending to you.
Lately on IG, about 85% of what they give me is about how to make it on IG. The tools I need to do marketing on IG. How to use Canva, how to use this one, how to use that one. Sites that you can go to, that you can get free trainings or free materials like that. You understand? You know, we get so distracted when we go on IG or TikTok. You just see, it happens to me once in a while too. You know, I'll just like, I'm tired, let me just see what is happening. And then I just get carried away. It can happen, but it shouldn't be all the time. Because now for those who are doing it full time, somebody like me that I am doing this business full time, of course, I don't have to leave my house every day. In fact, at times in a week, I may not leave the house until on Saturday. I may just be doing my business online. I may just be doing Zoom meetings. So, you know, it may, you can experience a situation whereby you'll just be watching, you just get tired, you're just watching some things on your phone and you get carried away. You understand? But it shouldn't be all the time, because social media, they feed you what you like. What they know will keep you on that app. That is what they will give you, because they don't want
coming back. Yeah.
Yes, they don't want to give you something that you just watch about 2, 3 and you get tired to leave your phone. No. Once they know that it is comedy you like, you'll be seeing comedy. But if you're searching for research materials, they will give you about 80 to 85% of it. So there are so many ways we can do this.
You've spoken so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much time.
So well, my diamond.
Much.
You have done tremendously well, my diamond. I really, really appreciate you. I mean, we had about 40 of us on this call. At the peak of it, we had about 40 people. You know, I just want to say thank you for the time that you've taken to share with us key lessons that came out of your conversation with us, for the purpose of those who maybe probably came late. You said never give up on people, because you use yourself as a reference. Big Sam followed you through and through, would come to your office, would pick you up, would take you to Ikorodu, go back to his home. I'm telling you, all at the end of it, you did a $500 package. But you see what? Another lesson there is that it's not about the package the person started with. It probably is a test. It probably is, okay, the person is trying to not risk so much. But look at you now. You started with 500 packet. Look at you now. Today, you are a diamond in Omegapro and you are still going strong. Yeah. Would he have thought that you would go that far? Even though he was chasing you for your initial package, he didn't know you were going to say, you know what, I'm resigning. He couldn't have seen that soon. I mean, you joined Omegapro in 2020. Yeah, he had been telling you since 2019, but you joined Omegapro 2020 and you went full steam. See you today. You're a major asset to him. You also mentioned be intentional about knowing the business. You mentioned how you take out your time during the course of work. You would be listening, you'll be doing the work, but you're listening to trainings, the 12 noon trainings, getting better, getting to know this, because this is the first time you're doing network marketing. You did not sign up to do network marketing. You wanted to just invest. Okay, Big Sam has been telling me about this thing. We have fought, we have settled. Okay, finally, I'm getting packaged. Please let me have peace. Finally, you did it, but you went a step further. You decided to be intentional with getting to know more about the business. You also said you paid for trainings, and trainings that help you become a better version of yourself, because this training even went beyond MLM. You're talking about personal grooming, the way you appear, the way you present yourself, because of course, first impressions matter when you're going for meetings, how you need to ensure that you look well groomed, And like me now, look at me, my red lipstick at 10 o'clock at night. So always turn up and be ready to take on responsibility. When Big Sam mentioned, we should have a female presenting here. Did you run away? You decided to take on the responsibility. You showed up, and now who is going up? Now you, my boss lady. And then you also talked about organizing dinner for HNIs. There was a good part of that. There was the HNI who did $100 package out of that. But you know, tomorrow the guy can decide to do even much more. So you never know. You never know. So you can't put, you talked about someone who you did not even know would ever do as much as he did coming in. I think you said silver on arrival, or what did you say on arrival?
He did both.
That he did. And you expect, yes, he did, exactly. You can imagine that. So someone who you never expected to do more. So we cannot look down on anybody in the course of this business, because there's not so much lessons to learn. You know, even we had someone, a guest on the show some months back, who was telling us about a classmate of his. He was posting on the status, you know, this daughter of a very rich man, quote unquote, who was just looking plain Jane in class and all that. He said when the girl was asking, oh, this thing I see on your status, the guy called him from Morocco, it was a guest from Morocco. And he said he didn't even want to, you know, just like the way you felt when you were talking to the pastor. He didn't want to, he just felt, oh, why am I wasting my breath talking to this girl who's always quiet in class and all that. The girl was interested. Guess what? The girl took him to her father. He said, as when he was doing this presentation, her family alone had invested over $150,000. Wow. The girl that he was looking down on and feeling that, oh, this one is just wasting my time. He said he just threw the presentation and said, look at it, look at it. Okay, come to the Zoom, you know, something like that, just to dismiss that I didn't have time to spend on her. Eventually, her family is one of the biggest clients that he has in the business. So we took that away from what you mentioned. And then you also mentioned work with a mentor, work with your team. You cannot be an island in this business. You have to keep learning, and you have to, everyone has something to offer. Never look down on anybody. Everyone actually has, some will be strong in social media, some will be strong in, everything crypto or software, big backup that you need. Some will be strong in trainings. So, but everyone has something to bring to the table. Must never forget that. Then what's the best way to, someone asked a question, please, my diamond. I will just quickly take that question because it's a very, very important question. He said, how did you manage to have clients that were buying very big trading licenses? Please, I think this is very, very important. That's why I'm asking you. How did you get such clients? Were they part of your social network in the office? Or how did you get clients who do big packages? Someone wants to know.
Okay. The only person I can say that I know personally that did a large volume is the person that did gold on arrival, the man I talked about. The other big volumes that have been coming in from me are not people I know directly.
Okay.
They are
direct downlines. Okay.
From, in fact, we call them success line now. It is success.
That's right. Your success line.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now let me take someone, for example, the person that brought the man is a diamond executive now. The person that brought him is on this call, so that's why I want to share a story. Okay, this my babe told me, you know, she just called me up one day that if someone wants to do silver, how much would the person need? That was as at the time that exchange rate was 500 naira to $1. So I said about 20 plus some change because of registration fee and all of that. So, and that was it. I just observed that the person did not mention it again. I now called her one day that, babe, what is happening now? Now said, don't mind him, Jare, he's not even saying anything about it again. So we're now planning, we're planning for a training in my area at that time. So we now met up that day to discuss how the training would go. So she was there, and I was like, this person you talked about, how far? So he now said that, well, maybe because the person knows our own financial status, you know, like, you're my friend now. I know that by the time you sweep outside, you cannot be worth more than 1 million naira. But that 1 million naira safe, maybe you would have collected from your husband to add up to it. And then you're now telling me to come and do a business in dollars that would fetch me money. And I'll be like, "Ow, I know you now, ow." So that was the situation. You understand? So eventually, we did a conference call that day. And I think I spent about almost 1 hour, 30 minutes on the phone. In fact, it was later I learned that it is not good to do business on the phone, that you don't sell the business on the phone. But that particular day, it worked for us. So at times, you have to just do what you feel can work. So that day, I spent about an hour, 30 minutes talking to him. Of course, because she had told me that they discussed silver. So it was silver I was telling him about. I was telling him the structuring and what he would get and all of that. And he was very excited. He was super excited. He was not like, he's interested though. But unfortunately, he's not in Lagos, that he doesn't, if he's going to put his money down, of course, he would have to see the people he's giving money to. And that he doesn't know when he will come to Lagos. So I was not like, I could have come tomorrow, but that I have a meeting in VI. He was like, you can come to Ijebu, come now, this one, that one. I now called Big Sam because I already had a prearranged arrangement with Big Sam to go see that person at VI. So it was just, when I told him that, maybe this person will postpone it, he said, what is wrong with you? Someone wants to give you money immediately, and you're saying you want to postpone it. We are going tomorrow. So that was how we went. We went together as a team. We got there. And Big Sam took the lead, showed him some things, and practically we were just, myself and my success line, we were just there to learn that day. So the thing about this business is, like I said earlier, you have to know how to sell it. You can't go on a business call with your upline, and then you are now, because you want to see them, but you also know what you are doing, you are now making interjection. In fact, this one, in fact, that one, it won't work. If you know how to sell the business, why invite me? The only thing you go there to is to sell the person who is going to sell the business. Because
that's right.
If you sell the person well, if you sell the person well, you would have done 70% of the job. And the only reason why the prospect will not do is if he never had intention of buying into the business in the first place. So you have to sell even if the person is your downline, your success line rather, you have to sell the person first. So he talked to the person, he showed him some things on the phone, how they've been to the head office, how they've been to the CEO's house, the VP's house, this one, that one. He showed him a lot of things. It was, Big Sam is this person that he's always down to earth. He will show you all his accounts. See, this is how I start. This was how I started. This is where I am now. This is how much I have made. This is my account. If you want to know my house, I'll take you there. This one, that one, that one. Eventually, we talked, and then he agreed that instead of the silver, he would do gold. And before we left that place that day, he was taking us to a place where we would eat. He took his own car with my success line. Then I was inside Big Sam's vehicle with him. So he was taking us to where we would eat. Big Sam now said, Anna, call your baby. I didn't come here to eat though. So I now called her. So let's go and do transaction first. So he now took us to the bank, made the transfer. So before we left there that day, we left with 50M that day.
So, live and direct.
Yes. We structured the account and all of that. And then the person became a ghost. And then he asked questions further. Okay, so this volume now, what? Because of course we have shown him some things. He has also, and he's a very business-minded person. He's a very business-minded person. So to cut the long story short, before the end of that month, he had become a platinum executive. He had become a platinum executive. So that was why I said that it doesn't matter how much the person is bringing. Because you don't know the kind of contacts the person has.
That's right.
Don't know the social capital that person has. I have somebody now whose social capital, in fact, is alarming. It is alarming. But this person does not know how to leverage on it, unfortunately. So it's like we are sitting on a gold mine now.
I'm happy for you, my diamond.
What I had to do was to set up a meeting between him and Big Sam. Big Sam talked to him, showed him some things, and he was like, okay, I'm excited, I'm this one. And since then, I've not heard anything. So that's why I said in this business, you have to work as a team. You can't do it alone. When I was in the bank, who do I know? In fact, that day that we went to that place, we got back from Ijebu that day. We went to VI to have a meeting. Went to VI to have a meeting. The person I felt would have taken me as way up as probably Black Diamond, Crown, and all of that. Because, he said that, see, I only need assurance that this thing works. I met him in the bank, he's a banker. I only need assurance that this thing works. I have people who can bring money. The only thing is they may not be able to leave their money in the system for the 16 months period. But whatsoever they make in 6 months, I thought to be okay. So I took Big Sam there. They talked. He said, even if he doesn't bring people, that personally he would do 20M for me. That even if the money does not come back, he will know that it is his personal investment in my own success. Till tomorrow, maybe the guy will do tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
This guy went
thank God your success is not waiting for you.
This guy went as far as going to our head office in Dubai. He went as far as going to our head office. And the next thing he did was to call me to tell me that, Hannah, be careful. And that place, of course, I saw the office, but they did not allow me to enter. It's looking like they are doing something shady there. And I'll say that head office where you work, if somebody comes there without an appointment, will they allow the person to enter? Said,
simple question.
It's a service-based organization. Say your own bank, is it not a service-based organization? So
my diamond, I'm loaded. I'm loaded. I'm officially loaded. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I mean, you've shared so much insight, sis. You've shared so much insight. We've seen you, some of us have sat down where you're doing presentations, and we've seen you in a different dimension today. And I'm so glad. I'm happy for the 32 of us who are still on this call. I hope you've gotten value. I hope this has been worth it for you. I hope you've seen Omegapro from a totally different light than you used to know. I hope your confidence has been boosted further about this company. And I hope that you would decide to go the next level, to take it up a notch, to venture, I hope you'd venture more, look at your social capital, look at the people around you, and decide, you know what, that you step out of your own way to give these people an opportunity to make their money work for them. Look at your social capital. There's just so many people who are looking for viable places to invest. So someone is already saying, please bring her back again. My diamond. Yes, once you hit blue diamond, we're calling you back because we need to ask you, how did you move from diamond to blue diamond? Thank you so much. Thank you for,
Let
I
me
mean,
share a
the
story
way
with
you're
us.
even relaxed. Please share it. Please share it.
Okay. During the last event we had in Lagos that Paulo came, the landmark event. So
yes,
I did radio. I spoke on the radio, 3 different radio stations. I bought tickets. I spent about 500,000 naira. The radio appearance and then the tickets. Eventually, the day came. A lot of people had promised they would come, but the rain happened, scattered everything. But there was one particular man. The man, of course, I gave them my number. Then when they sent message, I started calling. The man now said that, I'm already in the business, so, but I just did 5,000. Is the business really worth it? For him to have said, number one, I'm already in the business, but is the business really worth it? It means he was not properly enlightened. That's number one. And for him to have said that he only did $5,000, it means he has capacity for more. You understand?
To do more, that's right.
So, and then he didn't even know there was a landmark event. You understand? So it means that he just brought in his money. The person that brought him in did not try to explore what he can do with the business. So I made sure I followed up until the man came. He came for the event, he attended. And when we finished, I now said, how far did you see it? I said, well, I just ate. And I saw a lot of people dancing on the stage. I don't understand. I was like, Jesus. I now said, okay, don't worry, we'll talk later. So I managed to invite him to Radisson one day. He came late. So after, when we now finished Alpha, I still don't understand. I came late. So I now took about 2 hours again to start explaining the business to him. And he was quite interested and all of that. And now that man is going to do silver because, okay, he had given me $1,000 to just register an account for him. You understand? Because he wasn't still sure. That was after the event. He just gave me $1,000 to register for him. He said he wasn't still sure, but because of all the stress I had gone through to just bring him up board, I would do 1,000. But now, after we had that chat, the man is doing silver on arrival. And aside the fact that he's doing silver on arrival, he said I should give him breakdown. The breakdown I gave him for $100,000. And I sent it to him, he didn't object. He just said, okay, give me till next week. That was since last week. Okay, I'm traveling, just wait for me to come back. When I come back, he has not objected. You understand? So the fact that somebody, cross carpeting is not good. It is not encouraged, but this is somebody that is not, I can tell you for a fact that the person is not even in a team at all. So it's as good as being agreeing on. Mostly when I do radio appearances.
And he came to you.
Yes, mostly when I do radio appearances and then they tell me that they're in Omegapro already. I just let them go. But that particular day, the way the man just said, I just did 5,000. And that one rang in my head, 5,000. Okay. And you're saying just, okay. You still have money to do.
And you've done a great job of following him up, and we're seriously learning a lot from you on this call. You've shared from the heart, you've said so much, and you can see that for so many of us still being on this call, we're hanging here because we're getting value. Thank you.
Let's close by 11. Let's close it for 11.
No,
oh my goodness.
I will not go. Gladys,
my diamond,
free of charge.
My diamond, here. My dad, you're here. You're hiding behind somebody. Yes, babe.
Let's do well, let me know my last.
Awesome. You can see that we've had so much fun. My diamond, I know you are itching to say witches. Yeah, I'm telling you. No, I know she wants to say one or two things.
I just feel one or two things. Hannah, let me show you things that are making me crazy about Omegapro, Hannah. Thank you for coming on the call. This is my new home. Not long. There's no vex and no, I apologize. Now you're supposed to first enter along with the rest. But here is just a piece of it.
Wow. Wow.
See, I not even wanted the TV, and I'm just really working on the kitchen. But I'm telling you, it's a sight for all eyes. It's a sight for all eyes. And it goes on and on and on and on. And it's like a palace. If you look behind me, the whole length of it there.
Wow.
You know, I woke up this morning and I just knelt down and I said, yes, I have $100 million home. How could it have happened? I mean, if you turn my house, the light goes out. You say, okay, I managed to stop that from happening. Otherwise, life could just go up now. I've been in darkness. You know? Wow. So, Anna, yes, Omegapro, so much value. This is the GLEE tribe. To all my friends in the house, my team, this is the GLEE tribe house, everybody. We call it the GLEE tribe house. Yes, we'll be having so much to treat. It belongs to everybody, from the pool to the gates to everywhere. You got the keys anytime you want it. For me,
is our name on the documents?
Very plenty documents. For me, Anna, the journey has been worth it. It's been worth it. I must tell you. You talk about hard work. I know you now, babe. When we hustle silver and builder. Shebi, my dad.
Yes,
but you know, there's been so much water that has passed under the bridge.
Yes.
And we keep saying it unapologetically. For those of us who have moved so far, it's been consistency. I believe it. Call me stupid. It's your problem, right? Because I chose what I believe. You chose yours. You know, when you talked about making sure that you are in it for the long haul, and I learned the long haul the hard way. After running up and down like a headless chicken, I had the likes. When you go to business for home now, one of those that's managing to stay, because Omegapro has taken over the whole of the slot. You'll be seeing number 2 now, Paolo. You will see Daniel Onoja. You will see Tomiwa, and then you will see Rodriguez. I'm telling you, the first 20 business for home.
Our network is bad.
Oh, yes. Where she is, the network is a bit bad. We will have to let her go. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who's on the call. I celebrate you all. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you, Infinix Hot 10.
Awesome. For those who only want thing, he said you will never get. The other said it at the training, and he said, if you will not stay with the company I was in then, Julius, if you will not stay and run it for the long haul, please get out of this or we will refund your money. That was in South Africa. He didn't care. He went to the door and said,
babe, your network is bad. Your network is bad. Your network is cracking a lot. My diamond. Yeah, your network is cracking so bad. So thank you. The network is cracking really bad. Thank you for sharing. It's cracking so bad. But we got the message. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. But you know how we always end the call? You know how we always end the call? We have to show Anna a lot of love and appreciation for all that she has shared with us. We have to send her out of this call in grand style, the way we do in the GLEE tribe. Yes, so my boss lady, we have to send you out in grand style. Please, 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 everyone, let's unmute. Let's send her. Let her have a splendid night's rest. Let's do it the GLEE tribe.